Are you guys ready? Are your nails did? Is your hair done? Well, guess what? We're going to prom because Carrie is this week's Care Bear review. Yes, unfortunately for the world, it is another horror film remake. But wait, there's more. Don't get ahead of me. Don't jump the gun. Not only is this a remake, in my opinion, it's actually the remake of the remake. I know. Yes, it is actually a remake of the remake. The original was Stephen King's novel. Well, they're all Stephen King's novel, but this was actually derived right from the book. It was in 1967 with Sissy Spacek and Piper Laurie. That is the original. Then, I guess if you can't figure this out by now, but yes, Stephen King's novel, like I said before, developed a following and formed one of the most disturbing films ever shown. But that was in 1976, like I previously just stated. But my generation said, hey, fuck that, let's make a remake. So, in 2002, they did just that. Now, apparently, they didn't think that was good enough, so years later, now, they decided to make a remake. Yes, again. I am shocked, beyond shocked, why they would do and make three films of the same movie when clearly the first one was brilliant, the second one was a good enough remake to be, okay, I'm gonna watch this shit, and the third one's just like, why? You don't need to. I have seen all three versions, and now if you know me, I tend to like or prefer the original, and I do. 1967, Piper Laurie, Sissy Spacek, no, it's brilliant. You can't go wrong. But that doesn't mean the others weren't as good, and it doesn't mean that they weren't as bad either. The questions that needed to be answered, especially with it being a remake, are are the performances done well? Was it right? Was it the right cast for the characters being played? Does it follow the remake protocol? And I can tell you from what I can tell you, I should say, is that the performances by the actors and actresses were done well, exceptionally well, for maybe one or two. As a remake, and especially using an iconic character as one as Carrie, you need to have the right person. And in my opinion, I think they found one in Chloe Grace Moretz. She was actually really an amazing choice for Carrie. She played it so well as Julianne Moore. She played the mother to not to a T, but she played it well enough where I was actually afraid of her. She's one of those religious nuts that beat their children just so they can actually you know put the fear of God into them, if you will. Now, she played the mother, because of course both women cannot hold a candle to Spacek and Laurie. I mean, you just can't. I mean, I will say this, however, the story wasn't shot for shot, but it did have the iconic scenes that it needed to have, and they were done well. Here's the thing: the film came about in 1976, and the book was in '74. Now, in that era, most of the stuff talked about and shown is what kind of went around was normally done through that era. Now, in this version, they take that embodiment of today's culture. We have YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Vine, MySpace, if you want to go that far. I mean, we have everything you can to contact people with just a click of a button, just by an internet connection. The director Pierce did actually a great job in exploiting that fact and the horribleness and the horrible ongoings of cyberbullying in this day and age. Which makes this film hit home a little stronger for some of its audience, because its audience is really targeting those teenagers that probably have had problems, or probably the cause of that problem. But I'm actually glad that they did that, because movies nowadays don't really have a show or tell a message anymore for the kids. I mean, at least, I mean, not even those animated films, Freebirds. They're giving the wrong message. I mean, even from the trailer alone, time traveling turkeys. Okay, it's good enough for a kids film, but you don't say that you're going back in time to the first Thanksgiving to take turkeys off the menu. If you didn't read your history books, turkey wasn't served at the first Thanksgiving. Yeah, read a book. Go back to school. It's obviously happened. This is and it strikes me that these kids aren't getting what they need to be, taught right, even if they're not going to listen in school. There should be at least a lesson in movies and in shows. Some shows actually do have, a few things, but like Carrie, that actually has a huge target audience, from being a horror film with the young cast, and with the bully aspect, you need to bring in people. You need to give something back to the community here. I mean, you don't have to, but it's, in my opinion, because I've actually gone through both versions. I've been on equal sides. I've been on both sides of the equation in this. You need to make sure that the kids, have a good sense of coming out of this film. You need to have those kids, come out like, oh wow, I should be doing something. Not a lot of films do that anymore. Like in my day, I had Boy Meets World, and believe me, every time I watched that show, Mr. Feeney always taught me many things. He taught me everything I needed to know. He basically gave me my street and book cred going into school, and school gave me the above ground part of that, and I really love that part. But what he also taught me is make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. That's right, I fooled you again. Yeah, subscribe to my channel, which is weird because I thought it was Kit telling me that anyway. But make sure you guys do that right here behind me. I know it is the same setup as yesterday, or the last week, I should say, with the Escape Plan. I do apologize, but I do not have the posters for these couple movies. But also make sure you guys do that. Make sure you guys also subscribe and like my videos. You can do that on the bottom here. But also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at the Gare Bear, except for Facebook. I'm obviously on my full name, but you can obviously tell who I am on that. Basically, just do that. Make sure you guys also, I'm going to put the subscription down below. There's a great organization that I'm actually a part of. It's called the Be a Star program. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description below. It helps kids to stop bullying and to be a star and to stand up against bullying. Especially in schools nowadays, you need to do that. Make sure you bring your game faces next week because we're going to play the game. No, it's not Triple H. It's going to be Ender's Game, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that.